all about it. Sunday Papers. Both guys in LA. Are they in the same studio? No. Do we have a studio?
We're not even in the same region.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, you're over there so much. What's going on with you in Nashville? You seem to spend a lot of time there.
This is Greg's way, everybody, of asking me to.
We have big news.
We do not have to admit this is not big. At this age, it's not very big news.
Mike got an erection.
I got an erection that lasted more than 4 days. So I called my doctor and he said they want to study me.
He said, what did you take? And can you meet me at the CVS?
No, I got engaged, which I think is going to affect our year predictions, our New Year's predictions.
I believe I called it, right?
I think you did.
Yeah.
You've been very positive about that and encouraging a lot of years, I have to say.
Well, the moment I met Hannah, your lovely fiance, she's gorgeous, she's funny, she's sharp, she's successful, and she's
dark.
Not
perfect. She's a huge fan of yours.
Yeah. But you know what it is she's dark. She's got an edge to her that you don't expect from somebody from the South.
In fact, all of her friends are New Yorkers, including me.
Really? Yeah.
Like, Pam and John.
Yep.
And so there's very much that, sort of gets it.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I think I call it gets it.
Yeah. She gets it. Yeah. And, so now she has daughters. One's still in high school, or both still in high school, but one will be gone in the fall. You got one in college. You'll have one that'll be graduated next year.
Yeah, 4 daughters in all. I'm doing a balancing act here of trying to be respectful. I guess I shouldn't call it a balancing act because I should just be respectful. But I just went to a 90-minute mass because this is going to be a Catholic high school graduation. And every time I go back to a Catholic church, and listen, all respect to Catholics on here. They're in my family too. I just am very negative about it. I had a very bad experience.
You said that like heart disease. We have that in our family too.
Right. No, well, what it is it's the large, when you're in, this church was big. I couldn't believe how big this church was here. Over 1,000 people easily. And I'd say maybe 1,500. And it is a giant superstitious book club. That's not what I'm calling Catholicism. It's a book club for people that loves like superstitious stories. Like,
yes.
It might as well be about vampires.
No, it's Wiccan. I mean, the heart of Catholicism is Wiccan. It's witchcraft. Yeah.
And the chanting, like when they all chant, that's the most, other than the absolute torture pictures, the images of intense torture that are everywhere. The chanting is very unnerving.
I believe in Jesus Christ. I believe in God, the Father, the Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, of all that is seen and unseen. With him all things are made, and through him and our salvation came Jesus Christ.
Oh, Lordy Lou, look at it. You can't remember anything, and you remember that.
Yeah.
Are there going to be corrections on that or no? Probably the only thing you'll say today that won't have corrections.
No, because the thing is, when you go to different Catholic churches, which I do because my mother is a devout Catholic. I mean, couldn't be more Catholic. So I have to take her to Mass wherever we go. We went in Ireland this summer. I go in Florida with her. We go in New York. They always change the wording a little bit.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kneeling and standing, and they always fuck with you because they want to know if you're from out of town. So they catch you on a couple lines that have been tweaked, or like you go down on your knees and everybody looks at you like, oh, what are you, from fucking Florida?
I couldn't believe how many times it was like doing squats, how many times I had to get up and down. and then the kneeling thing. And also, of course, the kneeling thing, it's a little like the Jewish thing where they have an elevator at Cedar Sinai that stops on every floor on the Sabbath on Saturdays because they can't use that technology. So but God doesn't see that they're actually in the electronic box that takes them to the 8th floor, but they're not pressing buttons, so they get away with it. Same with this. It's like, all right, now kneel. And it's like, oh, but lower down the padded thing that makes it easy. It's like, that's not the idea of kneeling.
Right. Yeah. And I when I was growing up, the only ones that kneeled were the altar boys, but now I guess everybody goes down. Hey now. What are you drinking? Wine? What the fuck is that?
It's actually a watered down Diet Coke that used to have ice in it.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm sure that our listeners will be reaching out and congratulating you. I do. I have.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I think it's just so great that you're going into this part of your life with a commitment to somebody as wonderful as she is. And, I mean, you're going to be less funny.
Talking about God.
You'll be way less funny.
I don't know. I think my career really took off when I was in the marriage, the last one.
Oh, that's true. Because you didn't want to be home. You wanted to be out working.
And a lot of, believe it or not, a lot of it started. All of it started really. I would be on your podcast as a guest, and I would be, one could say, too honest and revealing about the troubles in my marriage.
Yeah.
And people were like, that's your show. And then that's what got me over to sitcoms, because eventually I wrote a pilot about, and CBS bought it and we shot
Interesting.
it. So
wow.
That started with you. So here's to another. No, I am reminded of that press conference with David Lee Roth. And they're like, you guys are such party animals, and and all the groupies, blah, blah, blah. They get to the topic of, will you ever settle down? And David Lee Roth with that crazy, like, it's like a child's grin, And he's like, well, I don't know if I'm ready for the 3 rings it takes to be married. He's like, the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. And then he's like, dies laughing.
I don't think he ever got married either. I mean, I don't. I'm
Maybe
just saying
not.
off the top of my head. I remember being in a strip club in New York.
He's
with
just
David,
a gigolo.
Me and Dave Attell were in, I forget the name of the place in New York, and fucking David Lee Roth came in, and it was like there was like a halo over his head. There was like a shine. His golden locks were flowing, and the crowd parted, and the high fives were going, the cheers, and like every stripper looked at him. It was like seeing Wayne Gretzky walk into any hockey rink.
Yeah.
Did
you freeze?
No, I just was holding that thought. I was trying to think of another metaphor.
Yeah, it might be a little something more than that. Yeah.
Might be
maybe
more
some of the images I saw in church of another long-haired blonde dude.
Yeah. Right. And Jesus was just a gigolo. He never settled down.
He never said. I think he might have had mommy issues. It's a little tough when your mom's a virgin.
It is. Because then
you feel weird
guilt.
Banging chicks.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, you don't want to be a cuck like your dad. You don't want to get into that relationship.
No, and he was just like with the bros, always with the bros.
Yep.
A lot of them.
Yeah, he was a bro for sure. And but he was also transitioning. He had long hair and the dress.
Oh boy, here come the letters.
And
nothing I said could compare to that one.
And what did they do? They canceled him. He was canceled.
Well, he literally transitioned. Is that what you weren't referring to that though? You were referring to becoming a chick.
Well, now there's 2 meetings. Now my joke is twice as funny.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's solid.
More meaningful. Yeah.
All right, what do we got here? What is this? You played paddle?
I've been playing paddle tennis probably as long as you have. Since we moved out here to Venice Beach, there's these paddle tennis courts on the beach. There's about a dozen of them, and it is such a fun sport. The court is about the size of a pickleball court, and you play with a deflated tennis ball and a hard paddle. And it's just super fun. It's like a lot of OG Venice people play down there. Guys that have been playing since they were in their 20s. Now they're in their 70s, and they're still out there. Young guys. Bjork has been down there.
You mean Bjorn Borg?
Borg. I always say Bjorn
Borg.
Yeah.
I think not the Icelandic little singer Bjork.
Yeah, she was there.
She was there.
Yeah, she was dressed as a swan, so it slowed her down a little bit. But anyway, so it's a great scene, and so I started teaching Owen how to play paddle when he was a kid, and we've gone a lot, not a million times, but a lot. And 2 days ago, my son, who's 23, beat me in 3 sets of paddle tennis. And
wow.
And you really, there's a part of you that's proud of him. Like, this is the moment you're passing the torch. But I got to say, the Oedipal part of me was really down. It really bummed me out for the rest of the day because I was digging in. I was hitting. Here's a problem with playing a 23-year-old. You hit a drop shot. He gets there in 3 seconds and puts you away. And good ground strokes. Serve was deep every time. Like, fundamentals were all solid. He's an amazing athlete. Every sport he picks up, except for golf. He's never been great at golf. But everything he plays really well. And anyway, so that's my news.
So is he going to throw a move on Aaron?
Oh, shit. Jesus Christ.
You brought up the Oedipal.
He's already got the Oedipal thing.
I'm just trying to follow along.
He got to second base with her 23 years ago. So
for a long time.
Yeah, for 2 years. He dragged that shit out.
Oh, man. Well, good for you getting out there because, we used to play all the time and it's tapered off. It's definitely a younger man's sport. A little.
It's not. No, we got to get out there. It's crazy we're not playing. How good do you feel after you play paddle tennis?
Great.
I mean, I feel so amazing every time.
I also feel great that it's not pickleball.
Yeah, fuck pickleball. But you're exercising, but you're pushing yourself because you're playing a game. You're having fun. And I work out way harder than I would in a gym.
Oh, totally. I kind of need that in a way.
All right, we got to keep it tight today because you have your future stepdaughter's graduation coming up.
I guess that's one way of looking at it. Yeah.
Well, how else do you look at it?
Well, I just have a graduation to go to. These fuckers aren't family yet.
Did you buy her a gift?
It's called Cash.
Nice.
But the party's tomorrow, so I have time. But I did pick up a card. My routine. I pick up like a Spanish language card for a different subject, and
That's funny.
I'm like, I think this says Happy Graduation. Yeah.
Yeah. What? And then one time you gave me a card for my birthday, and it had a Borders Book gift card. Borders Book had been out of business for about 4 years at that point.
That's why it takes me so long to clean because I'm like, I'm holding on to that. That'll come in useful at some point. I know it.
How much you giving her?
I know. I don't know what to do. $2 bill. Remember I talked about that last week? No, is like a few. I mean, well, this is the problem. She had a birthday and grandparents were here. The grandparents gave a lot of money and I felt foolish kind of, even though,
Yeah.
But I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to wait to hear what you say.
I would say somewhere between $200 and $400.
Well, that is the magic number. I was going to do 300.
Yeah.
And I ran it by Hannah, and she said she thinks it's too much. But
the other way to go is: does she have a college savings account or an IRA account?
What? Like I give her stock?
Yeah, buy her some stock and pick a company, Estee Lauder or whatever, and
2 shares of Apple.
Throw it in there. I think that might be. That might be more interesting.
Why don't I give her the stocks I bought, which are going down a lot more often than they should. Well, no, they should be going down.
The market is coming back up. It's all the different indexes hit their highs this past week. Did you know that?
Oh, wow. No, they're all up today. Oh, one's up 2%, one's up 1.5%. I'll take that.
Yeah. No, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, they're all up to their lifetime peaks this past week.
What's today? Friday?
So what is this about Biden's economy? What the low unemployment? The inflation that's lower than every other developed country since the pandemic?
No, I know what it is.
What?
The way that the right is digging in on the economy is how much their hamburger costs.
Right. No, I get that.
And their gasoline.
All right, let's stay away from politics.
Stay away from reality. What? I'm just telling you what it is.
I guess we have some people that are friends of the show, and we have some people that are angels of the show. Jane S. has begun sending us, over the last few months, logos, which somebody else told me are not logos, they're thumbnails. But no, we're going to call them logos.
Yeah.
She sent us a bunch of really high quality ones, and we thank her. This one is
look at this. This is so
one's
nice.
Pretty sweet. I mean, it almost looks like if we were going to stick with one permanently, might be something. Also, Nick and Dan sent in a very cool song. Thank you, Nick and Dan. It's a little postmodern. It's like
Jan and Dean. Yeah.
Modern sound.
Not the song, their name.
I think they might be father and son. I can't remember the note. But they're either father and son or they are homosexuals. But it's two men.
Hopefully not both.
Oh, gee. How often does that happen?
Crossed.
I had a roommate after college named Mike Coconut. We used to call him Coconut, but I think it was really Cokernack. And he had, I think, 2 gay siblings. He definitely had at least 1 gay sibling. Is it in the DNA a little bit? Does it happen in families?
I worked with a guy at VH1 getting my start. He was a triplet, and 2 of them were gay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And the third was just raped all the time by the 2.
I would think if you're the straight triplet, it's almost like you triple your odds of getting a girl, because if a girl gets a crush on one of your gay brothers, he just kind of refers them to the straight one. It's like having 2 sales guys out there for you.
Yeah, it's like a different size shoe, but the same shoe.
Yes.
Like, oh, this 10 doesn't fit. Let me try the other size.
Right, but you like the Converse Superstar. Here's the Superstar.
Yeah.
Also, we got just one correction from last week from Brian. I don't know if somebody else might have sent this in, but hey, man, tell fuckface Bob Patterson. Oh, he's replying to Bob Patterson is one of our he's an angel of the show in the corrections department, and he is fastidious, if not anal, about his corrections. That it's Matt Groening, pronounced like raining. Oh, graining, not groaning. So it's I guess it's graining is the correct pronunciation. At this point.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to read some jokes. I have my act together.
Oh, good.
Week.
Good.
Yeah.
Speaking
I have a list.
Speaking of acts, I'm bringing my act to Mamaroneck, New York, which is right near where you grew up, Westchester County, New York.
You got it, pal.
The Emmeline Theater on May 31st. My sister's coming out. My high school friends are coming out. It's going to be a blast. Escondido, outside of San Diego, Grand Comedy Club, June 7th through the 8th. Pittsburgh at the WDVE Festival, June 21st. Buffalo, New York with Bert Kreischer at June 23rd. All tickets are at fitzdog.com. Come out and see some live comedy, people.
You should get Gronk to go to the Buffalo show. He and Bert were bonding hard, and they've gone out to dinner before. But Gronk was going to try. There you go, Greg. She's in the zone.
What is she, fixing a window?
She's training roses.
Oh.
Or ivy or some vine. Some vine.
Okay. Well, speaking of training, if you want to train yourself to save money.
Mint Mobile, people.
I can't tell you. Sometimes there's breakthroughs in the technological world or the financing of the technological world that are groundbreaking. So there's always been these like fine print contracts that we get stuck in. You end up getting overpriced wireless providers.
They're a disruptor, Greg, a disruptor.
And, there's always a catch if they give you a deal. So when I heard about, for a limited time, Mint Mobile wireless plans are $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, I thought, all right, this can't be right. But then I looked into it, I talked to them, and it all makes sense. There isn't a catch. Their secret sauce is that they sell wireless service online. Cut out no stores. There's no retail stores gobbling up all the rent money that they got to pass on. So the sweet savings pass right to you. And the quality, oh my God, it is the best quality out there.
High-speed data, unlimited talk and text on the largest 5G network in the nation.
Yeah. So anyway.
Use your own phone with Mint Mobile plan. Bring your phone number along with the existing contacts. It couldn't be easier.
It's a great deal. To get this new customer offer and your new 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/papers. That's mintmobile.com/papers. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/papers. $45 upfront payment required, which is equivalent to what, $15 a month? New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
Here we go, folks.
We got
Front
a crinkle
page.
coming.
Extra! Read all about it! Extra!
All right, there's a new thing. It's called Ozempic babies, and it has not been proven yet, but boy, there's a lot of chatter. There are reports of surprise pregnancies, and they're raising new questions about the weight loss drug. So women taking Ozempic or similar drugs for diabetes or weight loss are taking to social media to commiserate about an unexpected side effect, surprise pregnancies. There's even a Facebook group called I Got Pregnant on Ozempic with over 600 members. Reddit, TikTok, all this stuff. And the new trend of so-called Ozempic babies has given some doctors hope for possible infertility treatment, but still others are wary of moving forward with so little data. So on the package, it should be like, side effects may include an 8-pound belly.
Yeah, you know what other pill makes you get pregnant sometimes? The one that Bill Cosby used to give people.
That and some weight loss. I think they woke up a little, other than what he added to it. There was a little bit of a workout, I hope.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you want to avoid getting pregnant, take a pill that makes you gain weight, not lose weight.
That's what I was going to say, because this is like the perfect drug. You lose weight, you get fuckable, you get pregnant.
Right.
I mean, that mission accomplished.
Yeah, right. You're getting laid more. That's why you're getting pregnant. And the problem is the kids can't breastfeed because the mom now has like deflated tits.
Oh,
there's no milk left.
That's graphic.
These skinny moms.
That is graphic. Okay, are tacos and burritos sandwiches? It's a question that has stood the test of time and one that fed a years-long legal battle in Indiana. According to one judge in Fort Wayne, the answer is yes. And he says burritos are sandwiches too. He wrote in a ruling on Monday that tacos and burritos are, quote, Mexican-style sandwiches. He made the decision in a case reviewing whether a restaurant called Famous Taco could open a new location in a Fort Wayne shopping center because the zoning prohibits fast food but allows exceptions for restaurants that sell made-to-order Subway-style sandwiches. The judge also said the Mexican store has to be just like Subway, subterráneo, and they have to have a, como se dice, a pedophile spokesperson.
Ha!
Probably
Yes.
that.
What was that guy's name? Jared?
Jared.
That was crazy. Holy shit. Talk about having to get... Has there ever been a spokesman that had to be kind of erased faster than that guy?
I have a Jared reference with Tom Brady later in the Tom Brady jokes.
Okay, good. I like that. Yeah. By the way, this seems like this could only happen in Indiana. It's the most racist policy. Like, let's take the whitest food possible and make it the only thing you can eat in this mall. Like, and the shoe store, only Birkenstocks. No Air Jordans.
Well, here's the thing, though. I think this judge was doing a solid in the specific case he was on. Now, I doubt, I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. Mexicans will like burritos, called like hoagies. But this guy was trying to get them to open their shop, and that was the way he did it. Now they're allowed to open.
It seems like the kind of question that when we were 14 years old and got high, we would have asked each other. Dude, is a burrito a sandwich? No way, dude. No fucking way. What about an egg roll? Is an egg roll a sandwich? Or a chicken pot pie? That's a
calzone.
Sandwich. Calzone. Sushi.
Can a Hot Pocket be a pie?
Hot Pocket.
I mean, a sandwich.
All right, let's get to this one.
Fewer Americans died of drug overdoses nationwide last year, marking the first annual drop since 2018. I can't believe there was a drop in 2018. So
wait, why do they think that happened?
There's now safety protocols. There's an awareness of fentanyl. Fentanyl is really the killer, and I think it's that awareness. That's not really why I put the story in. I know there's like drug testing strips that teenagers carry with them now. Have you heard there's a hotline that you call while you do cocaine and they stay on the phone? I'm not kidding.
And they stay on the phone for an hour and a half while you talk about your hamster?
Exactly. It's like you talk their ear off for like an hour. Like, we're going to start a business on Monday. I've cleaned out my garage twice since I've been on this call. No, the only reason I put this story in here is because every state experienced a decrease in overdoses except 3 states.
Okay.
And you're going to guess them.
Why do I feel like they all have very warm weather?
Well, hold on. I want to say, to give you a chance, I would not have guessed these states, I don't think.
Okay. I'm going to go, I think.
Maybe one of them. One of them I would have guessed.
I think Kentucky is the one that's most famously filled with fentanyl. That was that movie that Michael Keaton did was set in Kentucky.
So it's not, and one of the reasons it may be is because it might have been so goddamn high. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Went up. All right, I guess Portland. I mean, that's where every drug addict in the country went because they basically legalized all drugs.
You nailed. That's one of them. Oregon.
Really?
Swear to God.
And finally, I guess. I mean, San Francisco and LA have a lot of, but that seems like that would have gone down. I'll go Massachusetts because Boston is insane.
What, do you think Boston's doing a lot of drugs?
Oh my God. Yeah. They've all kinds of documentaries about like Charlestown, like the entire city. Worcester, Mass is brutal. Yeah.
So it's not on there.
Okay. What are the other two?
I'm trying. By the way, I'm reading the article as you're talking, and it's not giving a goddamn reason. But by the way, the numbers are still catastrophic. It is saying that, even though there's been a drop. Okay, the other 2 states. You want me to tell you them?
Yeah.
Alaska and Washington.
Alaska.
So Alaska would have been one I might have guessed. I know the drug situation is bleak up there.
Yeah.
Dude, if you party at night, you get a chance to party for like 4 months straight or something.
You're right. And then when it's dark all the time, yeah, what else are you going to do but be high? Did you see that True Detective, the last season that was set in Alaska?
I'll go back to it, but I didn't finish it. I'm doing a lot of not finishing. I didn't finish Baby Reindeer. It's very boring to me, Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
And also, I'm not on board a lot of the guy's decisions. And I don't have to be for a movie, but I have to at least like the guy and not be like, well, you asked for this shit.
Yeah, right.
Do you hear? I was going to put the story in. We can do it next week. The real stalker, because he was a comedian and he had a stalker, and I probably have some of this wrong. and he wrote a one-man play about it. And the one-man play did very well, and then it was made into a series. And that's the guy in it who is the comedian. And she, the real stalker woman, is suing Netflix now.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Everybody's got rights in this country. I'm tired of it.
Well, it's England, but yes.
Oh, okay. So, all right. So what are the three? We got Oregon, I guess that.
Oregon, Washington, Alaska, man. Our three most northwest states.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess Seattle. Yeah, Seattle's bad. And then, it's the thing is about Washington is like tons of immigrants that are, or people that are felons that are on the lam, because that's where you go out to sea on these like 3-month fishing expeditions, and they'll take anybody. They don't give a shit what your record is. If they can get a warm body on one of those fishing boats, they take them. So I've been to the docks in Seattle, and there's just hundreds of totally fucked up dudes that get on these boats.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if the overdose counts at sea, but...
All right, well, let's get on to this one. This town is saying boo to a goose, but his owner is having none of it. A troubled pet lover is locked in a foul fight with town officials over her forbidden goose, which she claims is her lifeline as an emotional support animal. Angel Queener bought Blue as a pet about 14 months ago, but has been told it needs to take flight from her hometown because they forbid birds. She's trying to register it as an emotional support animal. The recovering drug addict says she needs the goose for a long list of emotional issues, telling the outlet that she suffers from PTSD, bipolar, ADHD, borderline personality disorder,
this poor goose,
generalized anxiety disorder, agoraphobia, and obsessive compulsive tendencies. Every morning when I wake up and I see his face, it makes my day 1,000 times better. Then I see the shit he took on my pillow. She added, pausing to fight back tears before saying that the goose has helped her so much. She's trying to get it recognized, and that he has even helped her remain sober and quiet her suicidal thoughts. Well, if this is her sober, love to see her drunk. The goose has on a party hat, flip-flops.
I think the PTSD, bipolar, ADHD, borderline, personality, all of them, I think living with a goose is maybe the cause.
Right.
I think I'd be a little on edge if I lived with a goose.
Yeah. The goose is flapping its wings. It's trying to head south. When that head south instinct kicks in, have fun. How do you think... What emotional problems do you think the goose has at this point? Trapped in a studio apartment with a woman who is, by her own definition, completely insane. He's like, lady, just fucking eat me at this point. Let it end.
No, it's crazy. And also when a goose quacks or whatever you want to call it, it sounds like an alarm. It's like, it sounds like an alarm going off. Like I would be rattled the whole time.
And that thing is not potty trained. It is shitting everywhere.
Oh, can I recommend another thing called Blue, a Joni Mitchell album that worked for most women's depression? Try that.
Works for mine. I always tell people that if you're depressed and you want to get out of it, sit down and listen to Joni Mitchell Blue. It is the most. But the thing that's great about it is it's not. The songs aren't all. Some of the songs are very up, you know. California, but they're all poignant, and All I Want, My Old Man, The Last Time I Saw Richard. It's just I'd say a perfect album. I have a list of about 10 albums that I consider every single track. Blood on the Tracks is a perfect album.
Yeah. So cuddle up with your goose, throw on a little Blue.
What are your perfect albums? Which Clash album is perfect?
Oh,
London Calling.
I mean, it's. I honestly would say London Calling, even though it's a double album, but it has so many different styles and is amazing. And London Calling is track 10 2, I think, after Brand New Cadillac, and I skip it. You know, it's one of those. Same with Back in Black, AC/DC. If you
Back in Black is on my list.
If you remove the 3 hits, right? You Shook Me, Back in Black, and Hell's Bells. Yeah. It's still an unbelievable album.
Right.
And those are 3 monster hits.
Yep. I would say Pet Sounds by the Beach Boys. I would say I'm the Man, Joe Jackson.
Nice.
Yeah.
That 4-album stretch of the Rolling Stones was pretty untouchable.
Yeah.
You have Zeppelin 4, there's a lot. And then there's debate within each one. I thought a couple of years ago on the podcast here, I had come back from Glacier National Park and I did a dedicated, yes, I was stoned, but I did a dedicated listen to Shine On You Crazy Diamond and I Wish You Were Here, and it's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well, Hunky Dory by David Bowie.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the next story. A Michigan woman is suing her former employer over corporate policies that she says forced her to endure repeated sexual harassment as a customer service representative, including being prohibited from hanging up on a man accused of masturbating on the phone. They say that the customer service representatives are required to endure sexual harassment. Otherwise, it would risk endangering their performance metrics. Compensation.
Oh, boy.
She endured repeated egregious incidents by the same customer for about 1 year. During the randomly routed customer service calls, the man is accused of telling the employee that he was naked and asking if she liked that. Oh. So now we have to get all dressed up to call customer service? I'm so tired of this woke bullshit. What do I got to wear, a fucking tie?
And they say it's random, like that they're randomly, as the calls come in. How many people are working there that it's like, oh, the guy calls in like, oh, does this happen to be Charlotte again? This must be my lucky day. Actually, lucky evening because our midday sesh was fantastic, Charlotte. Like, does he just keep calling till he gets her?
Yeah. Remember that? What was that? Chat Roulette? Was that the website?
Where Chat Roulette.
Yeah.
Just every dude masturbating. It was so ridiculous.
And by the way, if I have to endure being on a hold with customer service for 16 minutes listening to a Boys to Men song performed by a cellist and a guy with a Peruvian pan flute, you can handle a little saucy talk, sweetheart.
I was going to say that you're masturbating no matter what when Boys to Men are on.
Yeah, you set me up. That's like foreplay for masturbation.
Yeah.
A demonic dog inspired him to kill, but now he's driven by a diary. Son of Sam killer David Berkowitz compared his decades behind bars to Anne Frank's inspirational writings, days before the self-proclaimed father figure is set to face the parole board. My favorite book is the Holy Bible, but the most inspirational book for me throughout my years is Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. She wrote her diary while in captivity, shared her heart within its pages. She impacted the lives of millions. Little Anne changed the world with a pen. So I ask myself, what can I do with my trusty typewriter? They figure out typewriters in jail? Maybe I can change lives too with my message in hope of God.
Someone should tell them about computers at this point.
Yeah. Well, I guess maybe they want to slow down his note writing. Last time it didn't go so well. His notes in the past have moved people, though, mostly out of the Bronx and Queens.
Yeah, they did. Oh, my God. Remember the whole city was terrified.
Oh, my God. Well, a lot of it happened. I was born in Throggs Neck, which is where most of the killings happen, or a bunch of the killings happen.
Yeah. Well, if his goal was to sound less crazy, mission unaccomplished. Mission certainly unaccomplished.
Don't these guys know just shut the fuck up? I mean, Manson, I think, didn't want to leave prison. For some reason, he seemed to go up and... What?
No, someone came in. It's fine.
It seems like he was like going out with the swastikas on the forehead and the rants and stuff. Like he didn't want to get out.
No, I think you're right. And this guy, first of all, he shouldn't talk about what a happy ending Anne Frank's diary had. That's going to hurt him in the parole board when she and her sisters were killed. That's not going to go well.
Wait, were they?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Am I sure what? That Anne Frank died?
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. She didn't survive. She got very sick and lost a tremendous amount of weight in a camp. And she did not make it.
Huh. Well, there goes the fucking sequel. Somebody had a joke about I have an autographed copy of Diary of Anne Frank. But then I searched that online because I wanted to find out whose joke it was. There actually is signed copies.
I don't know how that's possible. Oh, maybe because the father published it. Yeah. It's not signed by her.
Well, maybe maybe it's her actual diary was signed.
Oh. That sounds suspicious to me.
Anyway, I wonder if
what I saw, which made me laugh very hard, was I came across my feed was a guy goes into a bookstore and the bookstores have the stickers that say signed copy, and he put them all over the Anne Frank books.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. I knew I heard that joke somewhere.
It's great.
That's hilarious.
It's really, really funny.
I wonder if Justin Bieber also visited Son of Sam, because remember he visited Anne Frank?
Oh, yeah, that's right. He should. And he'll wonder if Son of Sam is a believer.
That's right.
But I think maybe it's weird that he didn't identify. Like, he's got it a little backwards. Like, for him to be a fan of Anne Frank, it seems like, I had the thought and I've lost it, but basically it's reversed. It's like, it's not like the Nazis were hiding in an attic. Like that would make more sense for Berkowitz to identify with.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird
Jewish?
How he's identified.
Was David Berkowitz Jewish? I mean, sounds
I
Jewish.
believe so. Yeah. I mean, one of the rare Jewish serial killers, right? I mean, if we had Denman, I'm going to look it up now as you read this next.
Well, when he left all his notes, they were front page news day after day. So for a while, he was controlling the media. So I think it is possible that he's Jewish.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, you got there. Jewish. All right, I'm going to do Jewish serial killers. What do you think the first result is going to be?
Jewish serial killers. Well, there was the one about the clown in Long Island.
First result.
David Berkowitz. There you go.
David Berkowitz all alone. I'm not saying he's the only one, but I'm saying in the results, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who was the Jewish gangster?
Oh, Bugsy? Siegel?
Was Bugsy Siegel a killer? Did he kill people?
He killed people for sure.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that. I mean, I think, according to the movies and legend, I don't know if he was ever found guilty of it.
You also had Mo, what's his name? Remember from the Godfather?
Mo Green?
Mo Green. He was Jewish.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call is a mobster a serial killer, or is there a distinction? Is that an asterisk?
Right. They kill people, but they're very organized.
Yes.
So it's a...
serial killers are pretty organized too. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah.
Are we going to the entertainment?
Let's go to entertainment. All right, we haven't done this in a while, but I wanted to just mention what I'm watching, what I like. There's a show called A Gentleman in Moscow. I had read the book a few years ago.
It's supposedly an amazing book.
It, I believe, won the Pulitzer Prize, and I liked it a lot. It's a little soft. It's a little feel-good.
A woman wrote it, right?
Of course. But then they made it into a series, and it's actually much more political. It's about a guy who was part of the aristocracy in Russia before the revolution, and then instead of being killed, they have him live in this fancy hotel because he wrote a poem that was pro-government at some point, pro-revolution. Anyway, it's a convoluted premise, but the idea is you've got this guy who literally is not allowed to leave the hotel, and he's there you watch him for 40 years. And it's very sweet, but it got way more political. The book brought in Stalin, much more Stalinism, and it's good. I think it's a really good watch. Highly recommend it.
Nice.
Another series based on a Pulitzer Prize winning book is called The Sympathizer, which is about, again, a Russian revolutionary. It's about a guy who was, I don't know if he was Khmer Rouge, but he was Northern Vietnamese communist, and he's a spy who is sent to the United States to keep an eye on a former general from the South. But it's based on a book that I also read. It was a fucking great book. Highly recommend this series. Very high quality.
Nice. Well, I just saw this article. Netflix viewers consider this flawless mystery thriller one of the greatest TV shows ever made.
Which one?
And it is Dark. It's a lesser known German language TV series, which will make the most mind-bending of shows look mundane. I haven't watched the trailer, but I'm just putting it out there. Maybe someone who's seen Dark can tell us if it's worth it. Okay. In other entertainment, here are some jokes from the roast. I just grabbed a bunch from our sort of file that we kept just so jokes, because they would come back to us. Like Belichick would change his script. A good joke would come back to us. Sometimes then it didn't make it to the show. Some of these might have, but I don't think any of them have. So Tom's idea of intentional grounding is when his son won't kiss him on the mouth. And then related to earlier, what we brought up was, so Tom is a spokesman for Subway. So it's like, do all Subway spokesmen have to kiss kids on the lips? Kevin Hart continued to make movies despite the actors and the writers strike. Apparently the only union he follows the rules of is the Lollipop Guild.
That's good.
Are they called recovery sheets because Giselle left you? Tom's, and let's see, Gronk is here, a real Netflix man, because he's also the star of the new Love on the Spectrum.
There you go.
We pitched that Rodgers, this was funny, some of these are concepts. We pitched that Aaron Rodgers, when he got introduced, would come out wearing a mask. Like he's anti-mask and all that stuff, but he doesn't want to catch a case of TB12. Tom is the face of Hertz, Under Armour, and apparently now weapons grade Ozempic. That was Dickies. A lot of these are Dickies too. Tom and I were competitive back in the day. I'm more laid back now. This is written for Peyton Manning. I'm more laid back now, but Tom, I mean, look at him over there. He's smiling, but right under the surface, he's thinking, I must win this roast. And I think Jeff Ross then did that joke on Kimmel, I believe, because we gave him some jokes to go to Kimmel before the roast. I think this might have been done in the show. Tom and his diet answer the question, how can I eat meat yet still remain as annoying as a vegetarian? Tom recently said the NFL has become too soft. At least that's what I think he said. His mouth was full of avocado ice cream while getting a foot massage. Andrew Schultz looks like a Fort Lauderdale mattress salesman. Andrew Schultz looks like his dad owns a pizzeria with no pictures of black celebrities. That's my favorite. Bert and Tom got kicked out of the KKK for getting barbecue sauce all over their sheets. Gronk won 4 Super Bowls. The only time he'll see 5 rings is when he competes in the Special Olympics.
That's good.
Sam J is a black lesbian from Dorchester. Sorry, Sam J is the black lesbian from Dorchester. Sam J is here because she checks all the boxes at the doctor's office when she's filling out her medical history. Randy wanted to be on the debate team in high school. This is Randy Moss in West Virginia. Their first big debate was, should we allow black people into debate club? After the Boston, oh, this is another Sam J. After the Boston Marathon bombing, Sam mourned the loss of the pressure cooker. They used the pressure cooker to make the bomb. Now that Coach Belichick has a year off, he's got free time to do the things he loves, like going around knocking ice cream cones out of the hands of children. Edelman wasn't big on training camp because his people don't like camps or trains.
Oh, that's
Edelman.
good.
Yeah, Edelman, Gronk, Amendola. Hey, Tom, it's wide receivers with a D. True Bledsoe's here tonight. I watched your set backstage and you blah, 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 blah. All right. Now, this is the last thing I'll read, but it was pretty funny. So Sam J came up with an angle. Sam J is really funny. She's the black woman from Dorchester. And at one point on the Zoom, she goes, the thing is, like, Tom, it was like not all of Boston liked him. It was like at first and stuff, and it was a little bit of a mixed thing. She's like, and then I figured out what it was. Tom was too black for New England. And we're like, please tell more, because this was because the whole night was he's white, 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 white. And this is such a unique angle.
Yeah.
So she brought up, he used to come out to Jay-Z. That was his play on music.
Yeah.
And she had like 2 other examples. And I go, do you want us just to spend a couple of minutes and write up reasons Tom Brady is black? She's like, yeah, that would be great. And so this is what the room came up with. So he ran out on the field with the Jay-Z song. His dream is to own the Raiders. Wears 5 rings on the same hand. He's always celebrating in February. Again, reasons Tom Brady is black. Chose football over baseball. Doesn't wear sunscreen. Wife makes more money than he does. Has 2 baby mamas. Doesn't eat tomatoes. My cousin don't fuck with tomatoes either. Has a niece. So, okay, let's say won't stop hyping his records. Lived in Dr. Dre's house. All of this is true, by the way. Made less money than other people with the same job. Currently unemployed. Good athlete. Doesn't see his kids. Worked for a guy in a hoodie for 20 years. Had a buddy named Hernandez who was a murderer. Refused to drink tap water in Michigan.
Why did she not do these?
I don't know. We wrote so many. He had lots of cell phones and burners. He owned a yellow Jeep. Spent a bunch of time on the DL. Doesn't work 4 months out of the year. One of them is uses T-Mobile. Wears slippers outside the house. Killed a bunch of people from Atlanta. Always needs lotion. Thinks Florida is fancy. His boss got busted getting a hand job, and he still won't say anything bad about him. This is my favorite one. Has a Jewish best friend who follows him around and wants to be him. Took out his rival so he could take his job. Owes people money because of shady business ventures. Works for Foot Locker. Wears Under Armour. Always wearing a jersey. Got a fraudulent PPP loan.
Jesus.
Yeah.
She should
talks
she
every
should put
time
that
he
out.
watch it. Talks every time he watches film. Will only work 1 day a week. So
Yeah.
that's what we wrote up
Wow,
for.
that's great. By the way, I'm just realizing I had every single performer on the roast on my podcast. Nikki, Tony, Sam J, Bert, Jeff Ross, Tom, except Schultz. I never had Schultz on. Or maybe I did. No, I didn't have him on.
You haven't had Schultz on yet?
No, I don't know why. Well, he's in New York. He's never out here.
Where did my Google Doc go? Anyway, here, I'm going to reopen the Google Doc. I am not good at media management on this laptop. All right, what is this? So we finished entertainment?
Oh, the
Where
only
are
other
we
thing
now?
I'll say is saw the Fall Guy the other night with the family. Go. Just go. It's so fun. And those
nice.
two are so good looking. The stars, what are their names?
Well, you got Ken from Ken and Barbie, right?
Is that Jake Gyllenhaal?
I don't really know much
no,
about
not
the
Jake
movie.
Gyllenhaal. What's his name?
You're putting me on the
Oh,
spot.
Jesus Christ. I'm going to look it up right now.
Look up Ken for Christ. Ken doll for Christ's sake.
Cast.
No, I love him, man.
It is what? The Fall. Oh, The Fall is a thriller.
We'll wait. We'll wait
the
for
movie?
this.
Movie.
I loved him in the Blow Up Doll movie. That was one of his first. He was so good in that.
Was it called The Fall? It was called The Fall, right?
Good Lord, I'm going to look this up for you. This is what people are doing. They're waiting for us to look at this shit up.
Yeah. All right. Anyway. Go see it. And the best part is the first 5 minutes, it was all pixelated and fucked up. Ryan Gosling. Yeah. And what's her name?
I don't, this is the
She's
thing.
married
I don't
to
know
John
about this
Krasinski,
movie.
the actress. She's fucking stunning. She's so good looking. It's amazing.
Yeah, Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt.
Lee Majors is in it? Come on now.
Very, very quick. Literally like 15 seconds.
He's quick. He's $6 million man.
Yep. But the best part is it was pixelated for the first 5 minutes. It was so funny because like the theater's packed and all you saw was guys getting up with fucking steam and running down to the lobby. Not a single woman went to go tell the manager that the movie was fucked up. And
that's funny.
So when we left the theater, we kind of trickled out because I stayed because I wanted to see the soundtrack because I thought you remember the band The Darkness from Australia?
Yeah.
Well, the movie's set in Australia, and I thought I heard a song by them, so I was like sticking around to see if it was, and it was. Great soundtrack. And so like the four of us left at different times, and they said, how many are in your party to each of us? And we each said 4. So now we got 16 free tickets to go back to AMC.
Nice.
Nice.
That's why the stock is hurting so badly. I don't think I saw Half Nelson. Supposedly good.
I walked out halfway through.
Because it's half? Is that the idea?
Yeah, that was a joke. Well, that was the thing. Me and Ross Broccoli were supposed to be on The Daily Show, and our movie review.
Yeah.
We were the movie reviewers, but the whole idea was when you're a slacker, if you leave a movie after 20 minutes, you get your money back. And so it was us reviewing the first 19 minutes of every movie. And it was always a play on the title. It was always like Half Nelson, left halfway through.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Gone in 60 seconds, gone in 19 minutes.
Hey, what did it mean when your time would blink occasionally on your audio thing?
I don't know, but it does it sometimes. It's not doing it now, but it occasionally does. I wouldn't worry about it. It just happens. Oh, by the way, did Denman ever show up?
No, he said he has a thing till 4:30.
Oh, okay. All right, let's go to Florida.
It's time to make America Florida. A Florida man who aspired to become a police officer. That's nice.
Yep.
That's very cool. You see, not all Florida stories are bad. This guy wants to be a police officer. So during the interview, he admitted to sexually abusing his cousin,
Nice
during
story.
a police department interview and now faces life in prison. Stephen Bodley, 26, was convicted by an Orange County jury last week of sexual battery on a child. Bodley first mentioned, quote, playing sexual games in a sworn officer application with the department. Bodley, he again mentioned the crime during an interview where he admitted to sexually abusing his cousin, and now he faces life in prison.
Life in prison? That's what you get for child molestation? Life in prison?
What I'm wondering is, in the South, are most incest trials dealt with in family court?
That would make sense. Yeah, I think they might even have a court just for child molestation in Florida.
That's what I meant. Child molestation, or most of those, I kind of ruined the joke. In family court?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, sex with a child this guy, I think, as a cop would have been great. Sex with a child is a lot like arresting a guy. You tell them to remain silent, you restrain them, and then they carry it with them for the rest of their lives.
I will say, I shouldn't say, but I did see they were both teenagers when it happened.
Oh.
But
okay.
But the years weren't great.
Yeah.
They weren't great. It was not 18 and 17.
Yeah. That's a Romeo and Juliet, they call that.
Well, isn't Romeo and Juliet when they're both underage? I don't know.
Yes.
Luckily, I don't know these things.
Well,
I never needed to know these things.
I think it's a great pick for a story. Thank you, Mike. I think we should do more stories like this in the future.
Come on, he's going to become a cop. Well, listen, let's make Alabama, Florida. Here we go. Make Alabama, Florida. Alabama man arrested in New Smyrna Beach for indecent exposure. Okay, listen, I don't really have jokes on this story. You and I just occasionally like characters. Listen to this character. The first victim contacted the sheriff's office at approximately 6 p.m. Saturday to report that a man approached her as she was parked at the beach. After a brief conversation with the man, he walked between two cars and returned completely naked. The victim said the suspect then simulated sex acts in front of her while asking her to take a picture with him.
Do you do selfies?
The victim told the suspect to leave multiple times, but he refused until she picked up her phone to call 911. The victim said the suspect then left the area in his car.
The worst if she called 911, started describing what was happening, and the cop was like, wait, say it again. Slower.
Yeah. While they were still on the scene investigating the initial incident, deputies learned that a man matching the description was parked at JB's Fish Camp approximately 3 miles away.
Of course.
But by the way, in Alabama, I thought it might not be the same person. It turns out it was. Deputies arrived at the scene to find the suspect, later identified as 64-year-old Raymond McKelvey of Athens, Alabama, sitting in his car, naked. 2 more victims then made contact with the deputies and said they saw him masturbating in his car. Deputies say the victims told them they also saw McKelvey get out of his car and remove his shorts, standing nude in the restaurant parking lot for JV's Fish Camp.
I mean, here is the argument for getting old people Viagra. They can't handle it. This guy OD'd on Viagra. He was so fucking horny.
He's attracted.
How horny is this guy?
He went to a fish camp. Smell his finger.
Yeah. Just go to a Jack Shack, dude. Get it over with. Really stretch it out over a day.
And I don't mean to make light of this. I'd be fucking super furious if this happened in front of my daughter. And I don't know why I'm not super furious if it happens in front of me. But if it happened in front of my daughter, that's a violation.
I love that he's 64. It's just like the song, When I'm 60. When I get older, jerking off in the parking lot many years from now.
Will you still simulate sex acts with me when I'm in front of your side mirror? Yeah.
All
right. What are we doing? Are we doing
some sports?
Where are we going? Sports?
Let's do sports.
Sports.
All right, if you're a Rangers fan, big night last night. I watched the game. It was so fucking good. I mean, the Rangers were dogging it. They were just they were down 3-1 going into the third period, and then Chris Kreider had a hat trick in the third period. Jesus. A pure hat trick. And what do they call it? A natural or pure hat trick? They were all his goals and no assists. And so now they're going to the Eastern Conference Finals. The Knicks.
Nice.
I believe the Knicks play tonight, and they're up 3-2.
So we're doing this on Friday.
Yeah.
And the game is 8:30 Eastern, which is quite a ways away still. And Knicks are up 3-2. You know, I told Hannah about that Norm Macdonald bet, the lightning bet he did with over-unders.
Yeah.
And we were eating at this restaurant that had a TV up by the bar. And I go, well, let's take this game, for example. All right. So, and we're like, I go, pick one. So she picked the over. I'm like, all right, I'll take the under, which of course tracks. And I go, so here's the lightning bet. It's over under. And we looked it up. The score, I think the total score over under line was 205. And it came in at, I think, 190. And I go, that means you would owe me $15,000.
Whoa.
Norm used to bet keep in mind, Norm did this in the 90s. He'd bet $1,000 a point in lightning bets. Damn. Right. But imagine watching that over and because at that point, you know, a guy just pulls up to shoot even at that a useless three. That's $3,000.
Yeah. Wow.
So they're very exciting. We should maybe do a lightning bet and just keep track of funny money and see who would owe what after the playoffs.
Okay.
Well, how about the Knicks? We'll do. I don't even know what the over under is, but I guess we can look it up right now. And we'll do a lightning bet on this. And what do you? I guess I'll take the under because I always do.
You always take the under, so I'm hoping for overtimes. I'm hoping for guys getting fouled so they get sent to the line. Overtimes count, right? It's not just the regular.
Oh no, yeah, overtime can destroy you.
Okay.
All right, here the over under line is nope, that's not it. Hold on, I think I have to go up here. All right, well, we'll NBA odds. And give me an over under, please. Why isn't it telling me an over under? Sorry, total. 215.5. All right, 215.5.
Okay.
It's wild that the half is 500 points.
That's pretty high scoring, right? 215.
Well, these obviously these teams are producing that. All right, 215. I'm going to take the under. You take the over. $1,000 a point. Made up money. Let's see who owes whom what.
Okay.
All right. Chiefs kicker Harrison Butker says Pride Month is example of, quote, deadly sin during a commencement speech. Butker spoke for more than 20 minutes to students at the Catholic school in Kansas, saying he wanted the graduating class to prevent political leaders from interfering with social issues that impact their relationship with the church. Quote, it is you, the women, who have had the most diabolic lies told to you. Some of you may go on to lead successful careers in the world, but I would venture to guess that the majority of you are most excited about your marriage and the children you will bring into this world.
Finally, somebody putting these bitches in line.
I want to see the Swifties' response.
Yeah.
They're all KC fans, and now this guy is telling them to be barefoot in a kitchen and be excited about it.
Yeah. I think this guy just kicked away the second half of his career with that one.
Well, who knows? I mean, who knows?
I guess
it might track in a very positive way.
Yep. Well, the guy likes it when people put balls through the uprights. That's his thing.
He missed 2 or 3, and it must be because God hated him, right? At that time, it has to be.
That's right.
All right, where are we going to now? Science?
Well, we can go to.
Oh no, I think we have to start winding up a little.
With what? All right, then let's go to.
Well, people like this day in history. You want to play?
This day in history. Let's do this day in history.
Here we go. This day in history. Number 1 out of the gate is Ringling Brothers Circus was formed. I thought it was Florida, but Wisconsin. It was a small circus in Baraboo, Wisconsin on this day, give or take 25 years. When do we think Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey opened their doors?
I think it ended. Is it over? Do they still have that circus, or was there too much animal cruelty activism?
I don't know.
All right,
Cirque du Soleil's still out there.
I see it as something that, I mean, look, you go back to Will Rogers was in the fucking circus, right? I don't know when Ringling Brothers would have started. I'm going to say 1894.
1884.
Oh, yeah, baby.
You did it. You did it. Malcolm X, give or take 5 years, was born on this day. What year?
Well, he really peaked in the 60s, I would say, the late 60s. So at the time in the 60s, he was probably in his 40s. So I'm going to say 1929.
1925.
Oh, did you give me a range of years on that one?
No, but I would have said 5 years. So
okay, so
I
did it.
Maybe I did say 5 years. Let's see. Let's try to grab another one here. You read about Napoleon, right?
Sure.
This is kind of whatever. He created the Legion of Honor. Do you know about the Legion of Honor, the premier order of the French Republic?
I don't remember that in the book. I think I fell asleep.
I would have gotten this anyway. So when do you think Napoleon created the Legion of Honor?
What's my range?
I'll give you plus or minus 10 years, but you said you're a Napoleon scholar.
I forget all the dates. All right, I'm going to go with...
I'll give you 15 years then. That's a 30-year window you can guess in.
All right, I'm going to go 1885.
No, you don't know Napoleon well. 1802.
Oh, Jesus.
Like not even close. Hey, here's an interesting one. David Letterman went off the air. What year?
Oh.
On this date.
I will tell you. What's the range?
Give or take 2 years. No, give or take a year.
Jesus, that's tight. First time I went on was 1996. I did the show 5 times. I probably averaged doing it every other year. So I'm going to say 2008.
You're saying that's when Letterman went off the air?
1996. 2006 or 2008?
2015.
No.
He was on the air when Corden started because I was there.
Jesus Christ. Why didn't I do it all those years? Last time I used my success as a metric for anything.
Last one. Jimmy Stewart was born on this date in what year? In Indiana, Pennsylvania. That's how American this guy is. He was born in Indiana, Pennsylvania.
Well, the guy was doing black and white movies, right? This Is a Wonderful Life was black and white. So that would have been the 40s. So he was probably born in 1907.
I did not give you a range. 1908.
Nice.
Okay,
Woo!
What year did he die, give or take 3 years?
1908. Let's say he lived 80 years. I'll say 1986.
1997. He made it to 89 years old.
Wow, good man. Good man.
He was great. Remember he would read the poems on Johnny Carson?
Oh, right.
He would always bring material, and he was fantastic.
You ever see when Jeff Goldblum read that poem on Letterman?
I think, but he in his own. Oh no, he recited it from memory.
Yeah. That was.
He's
powerful.
an intense dude. He's an intense dude. All right, obits. Here we go.
And that's all, folks.
Roger Corman died. This is fascinating, right? So he's the king of the B's, so to speak, the B movies. He would make these very inexpensive movies, mostly in the horror genre, I would say. And It started in 1955. He helped create hundreds of B movies as a producer and director, among them Black Scorpion, Bucket of Gold, and Bloody Mama. So this is what's I think very fascinating about him. I mean, he has a cult following and legions of fans. He was a remarkable judge of talent. He hired such aspiring filmmakers as Francis Ford Coppola, Ron Howard, James Cameron, and Martin Scorsese. In 2009, he received an honorary Academy Award. Okay, the list of people who gave their starts to didn't end there. Jack Nicholson made his film debut as the title character in a 1958 Corman quickie called The Crybaby Killer, and stayed with the company for biker, horror, and action films, writing and producing some of them. Oh. Other actors whose careers began in Corman movies included Robert De Niro, Bruce Dern, and Ellen Burstyn.
Huh.
And Peter Fonda's appearance in The Wild Angels was a precursor to his own landmark biker movie, Easy Rider, co-starring Nicholson and fellow Corman alumnus Dennis Hopper. Boxcar Bertha, starring Barbara Hershey and David Carradine, was an early film by Scorsese.
I have to say, Wild Angels might be the only one that I think I actually saw.
Yeah, that is a popular one, I know. And then there's one, we can do this next week if we want, but Eminem's Slim Shady was eulogized in a faux obituary in the Detroit Free Press this week.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, there's the picture of it. Can you see that?
Yep.
I can blow it up here. You want me to read the obit? Might as well do it. We're there.
Yeah.
Fans will never forget the controversial raptor, a product of Detroit, who began his career there as a rogue splinter in the flourishing underground rap scene of the mid to late 1990s. Shady first became a household name in 1999 with the debut of his playfully deranged single, My Name Is, which, along with its uniquely eye-catching video, exposed the young artist and his lyrics to a wider audience. That audience was soon exposed to the extreme darkness of the Muse rapper as he led millions of music fans down a road that glorified a demonstrably nihilistic worldview. Ultimately, the very things that seemed to be the tools he used became calling cards that defined an existence that could only come to a sudden and horrific end. His complex and tortured existence has come to a close, and the legacy he leaves behind is no closer to resolution than the manner in which this character departed this world. May he truly find peace in an afterlife that he could not find on earth.
That's hilarious. And wait, and who printed it? Detroit Free Press?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's because he has an album that's about to come out, I think.
That's fun. I like people do fun shit. That's the thing about entertainment right now is like the world is so wide open. Like last night I was going to bed and I'm on Instagram and all of a sudden it said Adam Ray is doing a live Instagram feed or whatever it's called, Instagram Live. So I click on it and it's just him smoking a joint in his hotel room, shooting the shit. And I'm like, all right, that was like mildly entertaining. That's pretty cool that he just does that for his listeners. And then you see like, I don't know, there's just so many ways to use social media or like this and the press, just being creative. And that's the shit that breaks through. People are looking for a different way to be entertained all the time.
Yeah.
It's inspirational. Did you see Bill Burr on Bill Maher's show this week?
Yeah, I saw him call him out. He did the same thing to Joe Rogan, which was the... I am not going to listen to you talk about solve the Mideast peace crisis. Why would I listen to you?
Yeah, right.
And with Rogan, it was like, I am not going to debate masks with you. Why would anyone listen to either of us?
We're not doctors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But the thing is, I watched the whole thing, and he went at Bill Maher the whole time. He went counter to everything Bill said. And the thing is, Bill Maher is a control freak. And he's an alpha male, and he did not sit well with a guy challenging him who could hold his own and just fucking everything Bill Maher said, he would deconstruct. Every time Bill Maher used a big word, Bill called him out for being a pseudo-intellectual. It was fucking great.
Yeah. I like it.
All right.
What are we doing? Comics? Are we cheering up after the obits?
Huh? we announced, I think we should put this off to next week.
Okay.
The competition, because first of all, we had a number of entries and I didn't get them all in. Although we should do one a week. All right, let's just do it. We announced last week that we were going to have a comic competition, very similar to what the New Yorker does on their back page. We're giving you a frame of a comic strip. You are then going to submit your caption for the bubble, the speech bubble above the person's head. And then we will read the winner next week. The winner gets a free koozie.
Or a garbage bag full of them.
I'm looking at it. This might have got put in after I looked at the documents. So is this the one on the golf course?
Yeah.
Look at that.
It was submitted by our friend George from Germany, from GS Artworks, who has made some of the most high quality. As a matter of fact, the one I have framed on my wall is from him. So caption it, send it into fitzdogradio@gmail.com. Make your subject line comics contest, and we'll read the winner next week. I think this will be fun.
I love it. And I think we should take a shot at it too.
Yeah, we'll do it as well.
All right, sounds good.
We get to Hagrid the Horrible, and the king and queen are watching Hagrid go through their cabinet. He's filling up his bag, and the king goes, "Barbarian!" And then the queen goes, "At least he closes drawers and cabinets," because the door is closed in the second one. How about, "At least he doesn't rape me while you watch"? How about that, lady? If you want to be grateful for something, that's good manners.
Yeah, I wouldn't poke the bear. This guy's screaming "barbarian" right behind him.
We got the Lockhorns. Leroy is leaning on the fence. It's summertime, clearly. Loretta's talking to her friend at their house. But we're seeing in the foreground a woman in a bikini who is pretty, but her feet are fucked up. And Leroy is staring at her, gawking with a pervy look on his face. And Loretta goes, "And that's the extent of Leroy's involvement in the Neighborhood Watch program."
Well, she seems like a hot Asian woman, no?
She could be Asian, yes. And she seems into
that's
it.
why the feet threw you off, huh?
Yeah, threw me off. The next one, Loretta is walking out the door with her mother. Leroy goes, "You're taking your mother to the doctor? Bolts on her neck need tightening?" He hates her. He just fucking hates her.
He does.
And then
you want to save him?
I'll do one more. Leroy is at the desk, and he's working. And Loretta goes, "Leroy is busy making sense, CENTS, of our investments." That's cute.
Right.
All right.
That is cute. Speaking of cute, didn't Joanne write us about Calvin and Hobbes?
She did.
All right. I'm going to call that up in a minute. But first, let me get to number 10 on the funniest or the best Calvin Hobbes of all time. Okay, here we go. Hobbes is the tiger, right? So Hobbes is pushing Calvin up a tree. Calvin's climbing the tree. So, Calvin, I guess, goes, "Is the coast clear? Give me a boost." And Hobbes is like, "What's the plan?" Calvin's like, "We wait for Susie to walk underneath the tree, and then we drop the water balloon on her." So Hobbes is handing up a water balloon to Calvin, who's now sitting on the branch, and then Hobbes climbs the tree to sit down next to him. "What if she doesn't walk by? Then we just sit in the tree all day." And then Hobbes goes, "I love summer." And then Calvin goes, "The days are just packed." So, I mean, no comment. I think no comment. This is number 10.
Well, look, I think what you're looking for, it's almost like you are going to a pound. No. It's almost like you're going to a flute recital and holding a beauty contest. Just your agenda for what Calvin and Hobbes is is off. This is not the Lockhorns. You're not going to get hard jokes.
All right, here's Joanne, who has a crush on us. I think this is cute, smart. It's not a laugh out loud strip. No, it's not. And then, okay, so here is, this looks familiar. I guess they do a lot of like snowman building or something. So, all right, here they are. It's a snowy scene, and Calvin's rolling a big, the snowball's about as big as he is. So Hobbs is like, aren't you supposed to be doing homework now? And he's like, I quit doing homework. Homework is bad for my self-esteem. And Hobbs is like, it is? He's like, sure. It sends the message that I don't know enough. All that emphasis on right answers makes me feel bad when I get them wrong. So instead of trying to learn, I'm just concentrating on liking myself the way I am. And then I think Hobbs is like, your self-esteem. Nope, it's still Calvin saying this. Your self-esteem is enhanced by remaining an ignoramus. No, I guess that was Calvin. That's confusing, right? Is that just me? And then that was Hobbs. And he's like, Calvin goes, please, let's call it informationally impaired. I think Joanne might be informationally impaired because I'm missing it, man.
Look, I think
it turns out I never missed anything. I never missed anything with Calvin Hobbs. I think this is what I saw years ago.
There are comedians out there that are playing big theaters, and I don't get it. It doesn't make me, it makes me angry. In the sense that, like, there's nothing challenging, there's nothing hard and funny. It's just, I don't know why people just like it. It makes them comfortable, I guess. But I'm not into it. I'm not into it. And that's how, I guess that's what Calvin Hobbs is. It evokes a certain feeling. It's casual, it's heartwarming, it's sweet. And that's just, you and I are not for everybody. As a matter of fact, we're not for a lot of people. But we do what we do. And it's edgy, it's specific, it's, it's from a certain point of view. But I think that some of these are broad. And if you want to get a huge audience, you this is what it is.
My recorder stopped. Remember I said it was blinking?
Yeah.
So I apologize if the audio has been subpar for a few minutes, but it made it till very, very recently. So I apologize for my new audio, but I'll hold this up.
So we'll be using the audio from the Zoom call?
For these 3 minutes, I think.
Okay, good. All right, Let's get to her. Dagwood is sitting at his desk. He goes, oh boy, this is really starting to shape up. He's drawing something. The son and daughter come in. The daughter has a fucking rack, by the way. And what are you doing, Daddy? He goes, I'm making a Mother's Day card for your mother. And then she goes, it looks like a kitty. And he goes, nope, it's a bunny. And then the son says, well, I think it looks more like a chicken. And then you see Dagwood goes downstairs. Blondie is looking very cute in a pair of tight jeans, mauve top. And he gives her a kiss and he goes, Happy Mother's Day. And she looks at it and she goes, oh, I love the little puppy you drew. At this point, Dagwood should just look at her and go, honey, it's a dick pic. I drew you my cock.
She doesn't remember what it looks like. She has no idea. She's like, what? Why is it hard? Is something wrong?
Right. I thought, no, it looks more like a turtle. It's like a hairy turtle. All right, Mike, you got to get going. Again, the listeners are so excited about your big announcement today. They're sending all the love out to you. And
that in theory they are.
You're betrothed, and we want to thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, go to Apple Podcasts, leave a comment, give us some 5 stars. Tell a friend, spread the word. Let's grow the show. Also, don't forget our sponsor. If you go to mintmobile.com/papers and you're a first-time subscriber, you'll get a $15 a month deal for 3 months. That's it. All right. Have a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, people.
Take it easy.